new year, same old sorry ass Bears football. That's exactly what all of this is. I can't imagine those Bears fans that are feeling disappointment. I can't imagine those Bears fans feeling surprised. Because this right here is exactly the type of shit that you would expect from the Chicago Bears. Like, this should not be a big revelation. And I get it, right? You sit there and say, they're 10-24 the past 2 years. They haven't beaten the Packers during the last 2 years. Basically, everybody that they beat, sans Detroit, in 2023 was playing a backup or third string quarterback and or was a team that fired their coach in the season or after the season. The fuck progress is there? They're 7-10, so a 4-game improvement in the win column, a clear tank season, and you're supposed to do backflips for this. That's Bears football! And as desperately badly as I hoped and wanted that Kevin Warren might actually represent something different, even though deep down in my mind, deep in the cackles of my very soul, I knew damn good and that he was there to get the stadium deal first and foremost. That's it. Anything else from a football operation is a clear secondary priority to him. As much as I hoped and wanted, as the season kept going along and this team won meaningless games that weren't going to fucking matter, all they were going to do is hurt their draft position and damn them to repeating their mistakes in 2024. Lo and behold, that's exactly what fucking happened. As the Chicago Bears announced yesterday that Matt Eberflus will be back as the head coach for the Chicago Bears in 2024. Because naturally, of course he fucking would. I mean, why wouldn't he be? This is what the Chicago Bears do. And some of you might be looking at this and saying, I'm expecting you to fly off the handle. I'm expecting you to go ranting and raving and all crazy types of mad. And the reality is, I'm so deep into this game for so damn long that I'm so angry and so annoyed by the spectrum, and I'm completely calm. Or mostly calm. Because you know this is part of their nature. You know this is what they're all about. We're not going to sit there and pay Matt Eberflus's contract for multiple years for him to not be a coach. Oh, yuck, yuck. That means the fun. And Mammy won't be happy with that. Yuck, yuck. Gosh. I mean, I'm not even surprised. The guy who went 7-10 this year, we're talking about the playoffs. If his defense doesn't fucking choke and fall apart several times in the fourth quarter this year, the Bears would have been a playoff team. To which those dumbass, sheep-ass, mark-ass Bears fans will sit there and say, well, that's what we mean by progress. No, that's a reflection of a fucking idiotic head coach who, by the way, was a defensive coordinator. And on that note, since we're talking about the defensive coordinator, mind you that this is a head coach of Matt Eberflus. When you look at his defensive coordinator that he hired made it 3 games or whatever the hell it was, 2 games through the fucking 2023 season. That defensive coordinator was there 19 games. 19! And of course, as you would expect, it's Eberflus's fault. It's got to be others aren't executing his shit. And he's got to have a fall guy. So they get rid of Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator, and several other assistants on the offensive side of the ball. Which apparently, to that Twinkie and ding-dong fucking mashing general manager, Ryan Poles, is an appropriate way. According to Ryan Poles, apparently, everything is fine, nothing to see here. The head coach in early 2022, 2 seasons in, is 10-24 as a fucking head coach, produced a whopping 7-10 record after you had the top overall draft pick and the most cap space, and you invested heavily on the defensive side of the ball because of course you did, because you're fucking dumb, because that's the Bears football way. This guy who assembled this staff now has to look for 2 new coordinators in the offseason. Not one of them, but 2 of them. And somehow this is completely normal or okay. This is not a matter of the Bears have done really well and they hired great quality candidates, and those great quality candidates got head coaching jobs either at the college or the NFL level. This is fucked up with the defensive coordinator hire and whatever creepy shit he was allegedly doing, and the offensive coordinator, put him up. I come from the Packers. I work with Aaron Rodgers. I know what I'm doing. I know I never called plays before, but give me a chance. I could do it. I got courage. Of course they would throw gutless Getsy under the fucking bridge. Of course Ryan Poles would bring back Matt Eberflus. In one of the off seasons that has, I would argue, one of the most talented and deep head coaching candidate pools that I can recall in quite some time. Talking about offensive minds and frankly defensive minds. Like if you're going to be in the head coaching market, this is a great offseason to do this. And Ryan Poles, that Twinkie chomping motherfucker, sat there and looked and said, hey, of all the candidates out there, I think Matt Eberflus is the best fucking one. And you still got people that are going to call him King Poles. And people that are going to crown his ass. Oh, look at what he did in the draft. And look at what he did here. What did he do? He's 10-24 as a general manager. He built a team that wins 7-10 this year. You're going to point to his draft picks. What? A number of singles and doubles, not a single home run hit. Name me one big-time star that he's drafted in 2 years, or one guy in 2 years that he's drafted that looks like could be a big-time star. You can't, because it doesn't fucking exist. You can talk about, well, he added DJ Moore and Montez Sweat. Okay, yes, he did. But this is a team where the number of the best players, such as Jalen Johnson, were Ryan Pace draftees. Tevin Jenkins was a Ryan Pace draftee. For those of you that are part of the Fields cult and swear by Justin Fields, last time I checked, Ryan Pace draftee. And there's not even much more you could say. You got fucking Kevin Warren sitting there talking about the top priority is the stadium and the top priority is winning the division. No, you stupid motherfucker. The number one goal of the program, the number one priority is to win the damn Super Bowl. I totally agree. I'm tired of seeing the Bears playing in a third-rate dump of a stadium that looks like a UFO took a huge hulk of crap inside the Roman Coliseum. I get it. Yes, the stadium deal is very important. But of course, even then, you hear him talking about the top priority of getting the stadium is to have it be done in great time and under budget. Because of course, that's the priority for this bullshit-ass organization. It's not having the top stadium that leads the way in the league for a generation. It's not being the best at something. It's about being under fucking budget. That perfectly encapsulates so many things involving Bears football. The only difference between Kevin Warren and Ted Phillips right now, in my opinion, is you don't look at Ted Phillips and you look at Kevin Warren. You don't look at Kevin Warren and say, man, it looks like baloney sweat coming from him. I could literally smell the lunch meat coming out of his pores. Or what tax scheme is he working up? That's it. But yeah, of course, they fucking brought back Eberflus to 2024. We'll see what they do at the quarterback position. You know, they could draft one. They could run back with Justin Fields. You're going to have people talking about how this is a good thing you're bringing a new offensive coordinator. Is it? What fucking confidence do you have in the head coach and general manager that hired Alan Williams on the defensive side and Luke Getsy on the offensive side to get it right this time? Where in the fuck does this imagination land fucking live? The Seahawks sent Pete Carroll packing, and he had been there for over a decade. And the Seahawks have been a relevant team for a decade plus, made the playoffs on numerous occasions, won a Super Bowl, won a second conference championship during Pete Carroll's time, almost won his fucking second Super Bowl, and they could finally show him the door. But the Chicago Bears, after 2 seasons, can't do that. They can't show Matt Eberflus the door. And to all those that are saying, oh man, this is the disaster scenario and they're going to suck in 2024. No, it's worse. That's not what Bears football is. What Bears football is that they'll win 10 or 11 games in the 2024 season. They'll be a wild card team. They'll lose in the wild card round handily. And it could be a situation where they bring everybody back and they're talking about contract extensions and man, we're really close. And meanwhile, they're no closer than they were 2 fucking years ago. They're just diluting themselves from abject reality. That is what the Chicago Bears are all about. Go and win double-digit games, slide into the playoffs. That's something worth celebrating. Fuck a Hallis trophy, let alone a Lombardi trophy. And they're going to run it back, and then in 2025, they'll win 7 or 8 games, and then in 2026, they'll bring everybody fucking back because they're stupid, and they think, whoa, we got to give it one more chance. And then, of course, they'll do what they always do. They'll wait till the end of the season to fire somebody because that is what Bears football does. There's like, I think, 3 organizations in the history of the league that have never fired a coach in the modern era, the Super Bowl era, during the season. I believe the Steelers are one of them. I can't remember who the other team is, but I know who the other one is. The Bears. Nothing about yesterday's announcement, yesterday's press conference should give anybody any type of hope, faith, or confidence whatsoever. Oh, you should praise them for being deliberate. No, you should be decisive. How much more time do you fucking need? The fact that you even had to let this drag out until Wednesday afternoon. Why the fuck would you need to do any exit interviews? You should already know where the fuck you're going. That lack of decisiveness means they had to be deliberate because they're dumb fucks. And like I said, you could see it coming. And now it's either going to be, oh, you're going to give Justin Fields the 3rd offensive coordinator in 4 years, or you're going to be bringing in a new offensive coordinator with a new quarterback, and then it's going to be some other fucking type of excuse because that's what it always fucking is. Meanwhile, I got to find a new gimmick because Getsy got fired, damn it! Anyways. Again, I don't know how anybody could have watched that press conference yesterday and come away feeling good about anything regarding this third-rate organization. You have to be a real fucking sheepish mark for mediocrity at this point to buy what these clowns are fucking selling at Hallis Hall.